You want to learn how to catch more fish on War Eagle's football jig? I'm about to show you how. Oh, there we go, right there. Yeah, as going down through here, and there's a little point here. It's got a good channel swing on it. And you throw that old football jig up there, and they will drill it. There, got it right at the top of the nose like you're supposed to. You know, fishing when the water's really cold, they want to have deep water access close. What I'm doing, I'm going to throw this jig around any type of cover. Like I've got big boulders here with chunk rock, which is ideal because it's different. Those fish will be able to position beside these boulders instead of just being a constant, just a gravel point or just a little bit of rock. They have these big boulders to hide beside, you know, and that way they can find crawfish, which is what this football jig actually mimics. I'm gonna be casting it. I'm gonna stay fairly close to the bank because if you're fishing, you wanna be able to be as precise and you wanna be more efficient, because if you're out here, I'm in 30 foot of water. I'm not gonna be fishing that deep. My fish are coming in anywhere from 6 to 12 feet of water. I'm gonna be up a little bit closer. I'm gonna be making shorter casts, but I'm gonna be working more angles, a lot more efficient, because like I said, if you're out here, you're in 30 foot of water, I'm not catching fish out here, I've wasted time. You know, with the watercolor we have today, it's not super clear, not super dirty. So I went with the black and blue, but since it's not overly dirty, I went with the spine crawl in a green pumpkin color. It's still natural, but I still have that darker skirt that those fish are able to find around those rocks and crevices. As far as my rod and reel setup when I'm throwing a football jig, I like a high-speed reel with a rod that's gonna be in the 7.3 to 7.4 range, because I wanna have that longer rod and a little bit stiffer rod so I can drive that hook into those fish on these longer casts. My line size, I wanna be in between 16 and 20 pound tests, because you're throwing this jig around some gnarly stuff, you know, rocks, anything that may fray your line up. With that heavier line, you don't have to worry about breaking off near as much either. As far as working a football jig, especially when it's cold, you've got to slow down. I'm going to throw it up here to the bank, up around the rocks and those crevices, and I'm going to really slow down. I want this bait to hit the bottom, and I want it to stay on the bottom. Especially when I'm moving it, I want to just kind of shake my rod tip to where those spine crawl legs are just kind of quivering and not flapping so much. Keeping it on the bottom just like a crawfish would be going, real slow. And as that bait's moving along, it's stirring up the bottom. That way those fish are able to find that bait. Looks just like a crawfish, so they're gonna eat it. Oh, there he is. Come on, fish. Oh, what we got here now? Come on now, get the boat, son. There we go, come on now. Yeah. Little football jig will catch them.